All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Ebony again, a.k.a. Fit Mom Diva of Simplicity Health Style, and today we have Rena with us. How are you, Rena?
I am doing good. How are you?
I'm awesome. She is taking time on her weekend, you guys, to share some jewels with you. So please stick around to the end, and if you do, you will have an opportunity to earn a complimentary gift. So tell us one motivational quote that really motivates you and inspires you. You guys, she has some awesome things that she's done recently, and it's not always easy. Serena, what motivates you and encourages you to keep going?
A motivational quote that comes from just my own personal brand, which is Royal by Rena, is Live Royal. And that is a statement that I live by every day. And it pretty much just means that no matter what circumstances I face every day, no matter, the highs, the lows of life, no matter what comes my way, I'm always looking at it from this higher level of essence, of womanhood, of, just quality life. And that's what kind of keeps me focused on every journey, no matter what's going on. So it's Live Royal all day, every day.
Thank you for sharing that. And it's important to always look at where we can grow to. If we stay stuck in this is what we've accomplished and this is where we are at all times, then we don't necessarily grow further. We become
Right.
complacent. Sometimes, though, having said that, it can be very comfortable to become complacent and to rest in our laurels. And we make very, very slow growth, but not because we are supposed to be, it's because we're stalling ourselves or we allow external circumstances to affect the pace at which we're moving. Sometimes
Yes.
it's completely us just being lazy. So, can
Right.
you talk about a time when you didn't necessarily see the light at the end of the tunnel? Perhaps you became lazy, perhaps you became complacent, or perhaps you just had a lot of obstacles that you had to overcome and you didn't know how you were going to get through it, but at the end of the day you were able to see your goal or your dream to fruition.
hmm So I started writing probably 3 years ago. And when I first started writing, it was completely new to me. I didn't know what to do, where to start, who to ask for help, and there was no one around me that could provide that assistance because no one that I knew was an author or anything, but I really had this dream to write.
Mhm.
And I didn't have a big budget for a publisher or anything, like that. And so I had to sit down and focus myself to say, listen, if you're going to do this, it took me almost 4 months to get started. Just with writing a chapter or writing, a paragraph of what was going on in my mind. And I had to tell myself, look, there's nobody else out here that's holding your hand that's going to help you do this. So you are going to have to put in this work. But in that moment, God said, I'll teach you if you allow me to help you. And so that's when I just took all of my dependence out of who's going to help and who can I call and who can hold my hand and all those frustrated moments. And I just depended on God. Like, look, if God said he got me, he got me. And I'm going to make it through this. So that's probably was one of the biggest challenges is just getting over the fear and anxiety of doing something different and something that you never done before.
Yeah, and that's beautiful because who else can help you better than you putting your faith and your trust in God to help you? When you really stop and think about it, even an accomplished author, someone that's written multiple books, can't put the same kind of things in your way that God can put in your way. So I
Right.
think that getting to that place, you probably will excel further than
Mhm.
relying on all these other people around you. Obviously we need people around us. He places people in our life to also help us. But you get into
Right.
that point of trust is what I'm referring to. You get into that point of trust is saying, God, lead the way, because I don't know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
What is your intention with your book? Like what kind of impact would you like to make with it?
So for my latest book, Think From Your Throne, it's all about mastering your mindset and taking yourself from kind of like this peasant mentality where we don't think of ourselves as good enough or worthy or deserving of good things all the time. And ultimately, it's our mindsets that produce all of what we want out of life. And so that is my goal. And the subtitle of it is Unlocking the Next Dimension of Your Potential. So that is the ultimate goal with this book, is to help people get their mindset to a place where they're prospering, where it's healthy, where they're thinking good things that can allow them to produce all of the things that they want out of life.
That is beautiful. And we are not often taught that in school. I know I wasn't taught that in elementary, middle school, high school, or even college classes. That's something
Nope.
that I had to learn on my own. And
Mhm.
that alone allows us to flourish so much greater when we can master our mindset. And it's not something that's going to happen in one course or one book or in one day or in one month. It's something that you need to renew your mind on a daily basis and know
Exactly.
the right tools and the right people to be around to help you do that. So I love that. And when it comes out, I will be purchasing it and sharing it, because I am all about people having a different perception on the things that they want to do in life. And a big part of that is mastering your mindset around it. That's awesome.
Yes.
I love that. Talk a little bit about what your intention was when you decided that you were going to put yourself out there on social media, because as we know, it's not always easy to be vulnerable and transparent on social media to people that you don't necessarily know. And I've noticed that as
Mm-hmm.
time goes on, that gets a lot easier to do, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily natural for us to put ourselves out there to the public world when we're taught to sometimes put on a mask and only reveal our true selves
Right.
to our very closest best friends and family.
Mm-hmm. So for me, I restarted social media over and over again. Each time, my goal was, I said, I want to share my story and I want to help people and I want to be encouraging to other people. But I realized that obstacle, that I never was growing, or people weren't really connecting with me like I hoped that they would, because I still had that inside mask on. I would let people see a little bit of my encouragement, but I wouldn't let them see the dirty stuff. Or I wasn't willing to tell people I'm struggling with this or I'm having a hard time. And so this last time when I relaunched my social media and just who I was as Royal by Rena, I really said, look, this time I'm going to do it raw. I'm not going to hide anything. And it took a lot of confidence. Every time I post, it took a lot of confidence and just trust in who I was as a person. I think a lot of times that we're not as effective when we get out there because we really don't know ourselves and we haven't spent
Right.
time with ourselves to be comfortable sharing our truth with other people. But every single time that I set out this time, I said, I'm going to share my truth. And I just wanted to be unapologetic. And that's what people want. Like, that's what they desire. That's what draws them in to connect, like, with your story. And it makes it ultimately effective where they can learn, they can grow. Because it's like, now they don't feel like I'm the only person here or I'm not the only person who's struggling. So this time I said, I want to do it unapologetically and just love myself, like, through the process, and just let other people see it, whether it's good, bad, ugly, however it turns out, it's all still me.
Right. Right. I noticed that in one of my courses, I developed a course on how to be more of your authentic self and how to show up in this world as your authentic self. And in that course, I talk a little bit about challenges that I faced. And I realized that after sharing those challenges, people were like, oh, so it's not just me going through that, and I feel like a lot of times we feel like it's us that's going through certain things, when in all
Mhm.
actuality, we all experience many of the same challenges. It comes in
Exactly.
different forms sometimes, but we all experience the same challenges. We all experience the same challenges when it comes to love. We all experience the same challenges when it comes to we don't want to eat too much on holidays. We all experience the same challenges when it comes to, man, I wish I could make more money. I mean, we all have very similar challenges. It's just that it
Mhm.
affects us in different ways at different times, and it comes to
Mhm.
us in different formats through different people. but the themes are the same. You know, so
Exactly.
I think that we're a lot more understanding of each other's challenges than what we would tend to think sometimes to hold us back from sharing some of those stories. But with that,
Mhm.
I also have seen where people can be very judgmental. And when I sift through the comments sometimes on social media, I'm like, well, this is why people don't like to share their story. Because you sift
Mhm.
through the comments and somebody's sharing something that's supposed to be positive, and you see all this negativity. So that's why
Mhm.
people choose to put on the mask,
We
because
shall
the
back.
thing is they put themselves out there and be real. They have all of these people that they don't even know that are talking negative about them. So
Mhm.
why put yourself through that? You know, it's like I can completely understand how people would
Right.
choose to not show themselves as who they
Right.
really are when, as I said, I'm looking at all this negativity of a post that was meant to actually be positive. So how much
Mhm.
more a post that is showing your vulnerable side or showing
Mhm.
something that is controversial? You understand? So I guess you got to look at it from both standpoints and be empathetic to why someone wouldn't want to put themselves out there. But you're exactly right. When you do and you have that confidence to do it, you do bring more people in. And
That's right.
really, that's what it's about: connection.
Right. Right.
I I often find that people don't necessarily always have a spiritual relationship. So you said that you connected with God and you put your trust in God and you surrendered and allowed God to lead you. But not everybody has a spiritual connection. And they also might not necessarily have close family and friends that know how to support them, even when they
Mhm.
want to support them. So what could you say, something that's practical? What could you say to people that fall into that category? They've had this dream or this vision since they were 8 years old, for example, and
Mhm.
they would love to put it out there in the world, but they don't quite have the people around them that can really help them and build a team with them to do it.
My biggest thing that I found that's been the most helpful for me, because like I said, when I started, I didn't necessarily have the people or the resources around me to do what I wanted to do. And so that is where my social media, started taking a big part. I got active on social media to even just follow people that were doing what I wanted to do, or just connect with their platforms to see their encouragement, because if you can get connected to somebody who's going where you're going, it makes the journey easier.
Yeah.
Even if you're not friends yet, even if you're not talking to them, but you build that repertoire with them throughout social media, and they can become a network for you. There are online communities, there are multiple avenues where you can, become a part of people that are doing what you want to do. So if it's entrepreneurship, if it's fashion, if it's beauty, there are all types of forms for that. So I just feel like if you make the first step to get connected and get around people, even if it's not physically, but even just socially through social networks, that can be one of the most powerful things that you can do. And that can start opening up some doors for you to connect with other people. It's like, how are you going to learn if you don't get connected to anyone? No one can be successful or do what they want to do on their own. So when I stopped trying to be a crab and stay in my own shell and just got out there and started trying to make friends, it's like you meet all types of great people in the world.
Yes, and I have found that the more you do it, the easier it becomes. I
Yes.
talk to people that say that, oh, that's not really my personality to be outgoing, and I'm like, how hard is it though to send someone a message online? And if they respond to
Mhm.
you, wonderful. If they don't respond to you, well then there's billions of other people in this world. It is so easy to do it online because it's just typing a message. And
Mhm.
oftentimes I think we hold ourselves back when we assume that the person is going to say no. Because a lot
Right.
of times people are open to helping you and open to connecting with you
Mhm.
because they themselves might be too shy to go out there and just start conversations with random public people. You know,
Mhm.
so I think that you get a lot further when you make the right connections, and I'm using the keyword right connections because you can connect with people that are totally opposite from your brand or your vision that you
Mhm.
have for yourself, and then it leads to other things that you
Mhm.
don't necessarily intend to happen. But when you connect with like-minded positive people as a whole, we don't
Right.
mind supporting other people's vision and goals, because that's what we're all about. We're all about connection and community and positivity. How can we be about positivity and then say, oh, I don't want to help you out. You on your own. Go figure it out.
Not gonna work.
They generally don't go in the same sentence.
Right.
So, I think that just putting yourself out there and realizing that we are all in this world together and we can build reciprocal relationships that's going to help us all thrive. When you release the need to compete and look at it from a collaboration standpoint, we all thrive.
Exactly.
Rena, I am going to include your contact information in the description box so that people have an opportunity to collaborate with you. And I want for them to definitely follow your journey, because you may have some additional books out there that can help impact us. And I'm definitely going to get my hands on at least one of those books. I believe that the more that we can put ourselves around people that are positive people doing things. So not just people that are going online and posting a beautiful quote, but people that are actually doing things, people that are putting products out into the world, or people that are putting on events. Those are the people that you want in your circle to build you up. So I encourage you guys to make sure that you follow her online. All of her contact information is there. All of my contact information is also there. And if you choose to join my Nutrition for Busy Women Facebook group, there's an opportunity for you to get a complimentary gift. We do not just talk about nutrition from a food consumption standpoint. We're talking about nutrition for your mind, body, and soul. So this is anything that impacts you and influences you to be a thriving human being. And I also encourage you guys to share this out, because we are in an age where sometimes we can be selfish and say, oh, that was great, awesome information, and this is what I'm going to do with it for myself. But your family and friends can benefit from this kind of information as well. And we oftentimes think about them last. So share this out to your family and your community, anyone that could benefit from receiving words of encouragement that Rena has taken time to share with us today. And if you have your own success story or your own challenges that you want to put out there into the world, contact me and I would love to have a conversation with you as well. Rena, do you have any last words of encouragement or motivation that you can impart to us?
Just any last words for anyone that'll watch, or they'll watch the replay, or they'll come across the share. It's just that there's nothing that you cannot do. And that's something that I had to learn. If you can change your mindset, you can do anything in this life, be anything, and have anything that you want to have. It's all possible, and it starts right here. So that's my encouragement.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You can do anything that you put your mind and your heart to with God's help, as she talked about earlier. Thank you so much. Wherever you guys are in the world, I really do appreciate you. I hope that you will listen to future episodes. I bring on people that are of quality and that will speak life into your circumstances. So wherever you are in the world, have a beautiful rest of the day, and I hope to connect with you soon.